Hey team, baseball is all about having fun, but it's also fun to win, and the easiest way to win is to know the rules to the game. And so the purpose of this tutorial is to better help you and your parents better understand some of the fundamental concepts of the game. Let's begin. You should have 9 players on the field, 3 players in the outfield, and 6 players in the infield. In the outfield, you have a left fielder, a center fielder, and a right fielder. Zooming in to look at the infield, you have a catcher and a pitcher. You have first base, second base, shortstop, and third base. Each of these positions have a unique role to play throughout a game. However, even though each position is different, every player should know at all times what they need to do if the ball is hit to them. And the situation will change depending on how many batters are on base and which bases they are on. But before we get to some of those situations, let's talk about some of the easier ways to get a batter out. The first way is when a pitcher gets 3 strikes on a batter. A strike is an imaginary zone over home plate that usually extends from the knees to the shoulders. And when a batter swings and misses the ball, or the ball passes over in this zone, it's called a strike. And once you have 3 strikes, you are out. Another way to get a batter out is by catching a pop fly. Anytime a batter hits a ball into the air, we call this a fly ball, a pop fly, or a pop-up. And if a player catches the ball and maintains control, it is an automatic out. One player can stay on a base at a time, and while they are on base, they are safe. However, if they are tagged by a player with the ball while running from one base to another base, that is another way to get a player out. It's important to note that you have to tag the runner with the hand that the ball is in. Whether it is in your glove or in your hand, it doesn't matter, but you have to tag them with the hand that the ball is in. Having the ball in the glove and tagging them with the other hand will not constitute as an out. The last situation we're going to talk about is a force out. In baseball, a force is a situation when a base runner is compelled or forced to leave a base and thus advance to another base because a batter has become a runner. The easiest way to see an example of this is when a batter hits the ball and gets thrown out at first base. The players do not need to tag the runner. All they have to do is have the ball in their hand and be touching the base with their foot. Applying this rule to a situation with multiple base runners is super easy, and many times the difference between winning teams and losing teams. When the ball is hit and the batter becomes a base runner, the other runners on base are forced to leave their base and try to make it to the next base. Ideally, the team trying to get the outs will go for the lead runner because that is the player that would score runs for the other team first. A force out can only happen if the base runner that you're trying to get out has base runners behind him, and in some cases teams can try to get a double play using this force out rule by sequentially throwing the ball around the diamond from one base to another base before the runner gets to their destination. You do not have to try to always get the lead runner out. Players should always try to go for the guaranteed out. And because the runners on the bases usually get a jump start most of the time, but not always, the guaranteed out is throwing the ball to first base. In this situation, the pitcher forgets that there is not someone on first base, and so when the ball is hit, they throw it to third, trying to get the lead runner, but not going for the force out at first. And so all the base runners are safe, no outs are recorded, and the inning continues. To prevent mistakes like this from happening, each time there is a new batter, shortstops need to call out how many outs there are and where the force out play is at. And then the rest of the team needs to repeat exactly what they heard from the shortstop. This will keep everyone focused on the task at hand and everyone thinking about what they need to do if the ball is hit to them. So many times, this is the difference between teams that win games and teams that lose games. Thanks for listening, and I hope this lesson helps. Remember to always try your best and have fun.